Hey, it's your guy, Jay from the A, coming to you guys with a great video today. I'm going to talk to you guys about understanding the process of buying a home as a first-time home buyer. Once you understand what you're dealing with, you'll know how to deal with it. So let's get right into it. One of the main things that I was told that intimidated me when I started my process in buying a home, and I heard it from people, all these distractions, all these people that, kind of got an idea, don't know what they're talking about sometimes. Man, you need an 800 beacon score. You need a 750 beacon score. You need all these things to buy a home, right? Turns out you only need a 580 per FHA. You need a 620 per conventional. It's all you need to get started to get qualified for a home. You'll need 3.5% down, whatever it is you're trying to buy. The next thing that you're going to need is you're going to have to provide a check stub. If you work for someone, if you're working for a corporation or a company, you're going to need a 1 month's worth of check stubs. They want to see how you earning and what are you earning. It's also going to have to show you year to date on there, depends on where you are in the process. They're also going to want to see 1 month to 3 months of bank statements. They're going to want to see the money that you're earning. Is it going into a bank verbatim? They also want to see 3 months, they also want to see 2 years, just 2 years of tax returns. They want to see if, in fact, that you're claiming the money, you're paying taxes, because they're going to make sure that you don't owe taxes. Now, here's another thing that people don't know that was found out to be not true. Some people say, wait, if you owe the IRS money, you can't buy a house. Actually, if you call and settle up the debt with the IRS, make about 3 months payments, it no longer becomes a debt. It actually becomes a part of your debt to income ratio. And at that point, you can move on to buy a house. Another thing you're going to need with that 3.5% down, you're going to be able to have to show that money in your bank statements in terms of in your savings. When you get to the point to where you're ready to start buying a home, and understand that this is a process, I encourage people, because this is the way I did it. I did not go to a bank first and ask them for money to see how much they would lend me. I first picked out a house that was suitable for me and my family. And the reason I did that is because my logic behind that was I want them to understand what it is I'm looking for and what it is I need in order to house my family and I, right? Nobody pays for something they don't want. I would rather come up with the money and get something I want than allow somebody to box me in financially and tell me what they're going to give me. And essentially going to a bank to get the check first gives them the opportunity to tell you what you can and can't afford, right? By doing it the other way and finding the home that you deserve, it gives them an understanding and a thinking. If you need to come up with a little bit more money to justify that 3.5%, I feel like some people will do that. If it's not, then you'll pick something smaller, right? Another thing is that here's another thing that will disqualify you from buying a home. Another thing will disqualify you from buying a home is not only do you have to have 5 years on a credit bureau, you also have to have 5 trade lines in good standings. You can't have no late for 12 months in those 5 trade lines that you have that's been on there for a minimum of 5 years, right? So it's called the 5 and 5. You got to have either 5 years or 5 trade lines. You cannot have no lates on any of your credit lines or your trade lines that is on your credit for 12 months, 12 calendar months, that is. The reason being, you have to understand, they know nothing about you. They don't know who you are. And essentially, you're asking them for $300,000, $400,000, and $500,000. You got to be able to have everything. You got to be able to prove what you're saying, right? Now, another question that I'm always asked, right? When is the best time to buy a house? It's a 2-part question. One, if the rates is like they are now, 7%, 6%, in my opinion, it's a terrible time to buy. During the summertime is what you call a seller's market. And what that simply means is there are more homes less homes for sale than there are buyers. There are more buyers looking for homes than there are people selling homes. So that is a seller's market. During the fall and winter months, that is what you call a buyer's market. That means that there are more homes available than there are buyers. So in my opinion, when I started my process on purchasing my home, I started in the fall months. I started around September, and I pulled the trigger in October. The house wasn't complete until around about February. So I was able to lock my rate and do what I need to do at that such time. But I felt like I got a better deal during that time than you do in the summertime. So you also have to make sure you purchasing the home that you need and you're looking for, but timing is everything. You want to be able to buy that home and get the best deal that's out there for you. There are all types of programs that's going to help you. There's all type of programs that are designed for first-time home buyers. I did not go through things like Georgia Dream and all these different places. I didn't go through that. For me, I went directly through my builder. And the reason why I went through my builder is because my home was built brand new. And my first time buying a home, I went through the process and they followed the certain lending practices that they had to follow. And they found a bank that was willing to get me the home or the loan that I needed. It is just like it sounds like. It's a process. If you are in public service, if you're in public safety, if you're a nurse, there are programs, there are different types of incentives that they give for people who do that type of work. I encourage everyone to really take the time, figure out where you want to live. You got to understand you're going to be there for a while. When you buy a house, you not only buy that house, you buy that neighborhood. You're now part of that community. You're now part of that city. You're now part of the school district. Your council person and all those people, they matter. So make sure that where you're going to purchase that home, make sure it's something that you don't mind hunkering down and being there for potentially of 30 years. Some people say, hey, I want to do a 15-year loan. Well, if you make principal payments to your loan, right, you can potentially knock years off of that. The more important thing about buying a home, here's the more logical reason I can give you about buying a home, is that renting only guarantees you somewhere to stay for 30 more days. Yeah, you have a contract, but if you really read a contract on an apartment, the landlord can cancel the apartment or the home loan or the home rental agreement anytime he or she chooses, right? Also, they also state that at the end of that loan or that lease agreement, that they have the right to raise your rent to fair market value, different from what you were currently paying. Know this to be true. We're going to have things that happen in our life that are unforeseeable, right? There's going to be some things that happen in your life that is uncontrollable. You can negotiate with that bank. You can't negotiate with that landlord. You don't pay that rent, you're out of there. And it's matter of funny that your almost rent, check this logic out, all rent is due by the first, late on the third. I'm going to tell you why. Because once you buy your home and become a homeowner, your mortgage isn't due until the 15th. You're talking the middle of the month. And the reason why they do that, right, is because the landlord needs to figure out if you're going to be late or not. So if that person can make that payment to the mortgage or not, he has time to make that mortgage payment if you default on that mortgage payment. So let's be real honest about it. If something happens and you're unable to make your rent or your mortgage payment, rather, on the 3rd of that month, you still have an additional week or two to come up with the money. You do have things inside of your mortgage called escrow. That's basically another savings account that they put money aside in the event that something happens and they can pull from their escrow and make your mortgage payment. So again, the benefits to buying a home is way better than renting. I understand that people are not in that position to buy, but this video is very simple to put you in the mindset to understand that you're actually in a better position to buy than you think. You actually have most of the things you need to buy already. You just got to understand that there's a process and understand that there are going to be a little sacrifices that you may have to make, but you got to be willing to go through that process. I did it. It worked out well for me and my family. I've been in my home for 5 years and everything has been great. no issues whatsoever, right? And you do understand that it's no more going to the landlord or the leasing partner, the front of the apartments, if something go wrong. It's on you. They have different type of programs and companies such as American Home Shield and all these different places that will allow you to fix things and put a warranty on your home. You can put warranty on your car. You can put a warranty on your home. They can even offer that through your car insurance, where they can put a home warranty on your home and fix anything that's going wrong with your home. You can get your homeowner's insurance through your car insurance company. So there are many different things you can do that works and benefits for you. You just got to do what's best for you. And I hope this encouraged someone. Hope this helped someone. And stay tuned. We'll have another video. If you have any questions, please like, subscribe, comment, and we'll make this thing happen.